Hi, I'm Molly Martin of Mama Nurture. I'm an RN and a postpartum doula, and this is week 1 of the Strength series. So today I'm going to be talking about mental strength. Yay! So the first thing that I just want to mention is that practicing mental strength in the postpartum period and just as a mom in general is going to trickle over into all other areas of your life. So it's going to benefit you in all your other relationships, how you view your boss or your job, and how you handle day-to-day stresses, like somebody pulling out in front of you in traffic, or your puppy chewing up your favorite shoe, or your toddler breaking your favorite dish. It's going to help you in all these situations. I also want to start out with an analogy of how mental strength is similar to getting a chiropractic adjustment. So you go in to see your chiropractor because you have a minor backache or a major backache. And he adjusts your back and then sends you home with some exercises and stretches that he wants you to do every day. And doing these exercises every day and then coming in for a regular adjustment for a while until you correct that alignment is what's going to make the difference. Mental strength is similar because you do have to practice it every day. And the longer you've been in misalignment, the longer you've been thinking these same negative thoughts, the longer and more practice it's going to take to where it doesn't feel like as much work. So if you start practicing mental strength and positivity and you feel like in a few weeks or a month you've only made like a 5% progression maybe, and you feel like that's not very much, that's actually great. It takes a lot of work sometimes and a lot of thought redirection. So any progress is going to help you. And the more progress you start to see, the more fuel you'll have to keep going. So I'm going to start out with 3 things that mental health is not, just to help clear up some misconceptions. So number 1, mental health is not suppressing or ignoring your emotions, but having an awareness of what emotion you're having and understanding how that's influencing your thoughts and behavior. So a lot of times we just feel like we're just having a bad day, or we just don't feel good today, and we don't even really know why, and we don't necessarily pay a whole lot of attention to why. We just buffer with something. We just eat something that tastes good when we're not even hungry, or we decide to binge watch our favorite reality TV show for a while to just take our mind off everything. But developing a powerful mental strength, you have to kind of lean into those emotions that you may not want to lean into, that you may not want to think about. So figuring out what you're feeling and getting to the root of it rather than ignoring it is what's going to increase your mental strength. Number 2, mental strength is not about being self-reliant. It's understanding that you don't have all the answers and you can't do everything yourself, and asking for help when you need it. You're not weak for asking for help. It actually strengthens you in a lot of ways. And number 3, mental health is not just about positive thinking. It doesn't make sense to just be positive all the time. So there's times in our life where we want to and need to just feel sad or disappointed or feel some negative emotion. And that's fine. We need to process through it in order to get to a better place. But just recognize that there are a lot of things that we allow to cause us stress that are not helpful negative thoughts. They're not helping us progress and get to a better place. They're keeping us stuck. So just recognize the difference from where it's something you really do need to feel and process through, like a death, or it's something that you're just choosing to get hung up on the negative, and you can find a thought that still feels real to you but is going to help get the feelings and emotions that will benefit you better than just feeling bad and feeling stuck. One example of these negative thoughts that relates to the postpartum period is the thought that my baby is just difficult. He's harder than most other babies. And this is a thought that I had myself, and that really did cause me a lot more stress and to just feel stuck. So I had a baby that really did not sleep well at all. And I thought about this a lot, and I talked to other people about it, and I compared how he slept compared to other people's babies, and focusing on the thought that my baby is just difficult did not serve me and did not get me anywhere and didn't help get me more sleep. I actually lost sleep because of it, because I caused myself a lot of anxiety by thinking that. So a thought that I could have found to think instead that was just as true is my baby sleeps the exact amount he's supposed to. So I thought he should be sleeping more than he was, but apparently not, or else he would have been. His body did what it knew it was supposed to be doing. If it knew it needed more sleep, then he would have been sleeping more. So thinking the thought he should be doing this did not serve me at all. And we'll get into more of the should and shouldn't later, because that's a big area I just want to mention that can help you a lot. This also leads into venting or asking advice to other people. So there's a time and a place for this, and I'll mention where this can be helpful. But a lot of times, especially postpartum, when we vent or we ask advice, we're just reinforcing our stress. So if we're a little bit worried about our milk supply, or about how little our baby is sleeping, or about how much our baby is sleeping, and we relay that stress to somebody else or ask their advice on how we can improve it, they may say something like, yeah, he should be sleeping better by now. Or, yeah, my baby didn't eat that often. Or, my baby ate way more often than that. Maybe something's wrong with your baby. So just venting this kind of stuff to just anybody, you may hear all kinds of things that aren't going to help you. So the key, I don't want you to feel like you can't ask for help. Obviously, you need to ask for help. You need to talk about your emotions. Don't bottle things up. But just keep in mind who you're choosing to ask advice to and vent to. So when you're asking advice, ask someone who you know has similar parenting philosophies as you. That was something that I didn't do, because I became so desperate to try to find a way to get just a little more sleep that I asked about anybody. And that can lead you on a wild goose chase, trying all these different things that maybe you weren't even comfortable with. So just know your audience and think about that before you vent or ask advice. So I'm going to leave you with some tips and tricks to help improve your mental strength through the postpartum period. Number one is to help you find your mommy intuition. So I think that above all else, above your mom, your mother-in-law, even experts, you are the expert on your baby. So that mommy intuition that I talk about is really important. So if you're kind of unsure of what that even is, or how to find that, one way is to ask yourself, what advice would I give a loved one who had this problem? And that kind of takes you out of the problem and thinking about it more, as in it gives you a different view of it. Number two is what I like to call the end of the day you. So I have a Facebook post on this on my Mama Nurture page that you can go back and read. It explains it in a little bit more in depth than I'm going to right now. But just picture who you want to be at the end of the day, how you want to be feeling, the thoughts you want to be having about how your day went with your baby. And then choose to be her. Choose thoughts and behaviors through the day that are going to get you to where you want to feel at the end of the day. Number 3 is at the end of the day, try to think of 3 things that went right. This will kind of help train your brain a little bit to focus on the positive things or the things that really did go the way that you would have wanted them to, rather than just thinking about all the negative things. A lot of times the positive list is way longer than the negative list. We just don't see those things as clearly. Number 4 is whenever you need to, just take a deep breath and remind yourself that this is a very short time of your life, of your baby's life, and it will pass, and you will miss it. You will, even if you don't think you will right now. And then the last one is take out the word should. Anytime you think this should be happening or this shouldn't be happening, you're adding automatic stress. So what I like to think is, yes, this should be happening. Maybe this doesn't seem like what I would choose, or this isn't the easiest thing to be dealing with right now, but it's what should be happening because it is. If it was supposed to go any other way, then it would be. So that's all I have for you today. I could talk about this for a lot longer, so I do plan to do a little bit more on mental strength for you guys. So let me know what you thought, and I will see you next week for physical strength. Have a great week.